So, welcome to lesson 7 of Grow, Prepare, Eat. We're halfway through, which is like wild to me that we've already had 3 weeks together. So today it's gonna be a pretty fun lesson. We're gonna share about how the hands-on activity went. So I want to hear all about that salsa making that you guys did, hopefully some of you this weekend. And then we're gonna kind of change to a new topic, and we're gonna start talking about protein. Kind of want to see what you guys know about protein, and we'll maybe learn some new things. We're going to do a little bit of a composting review, and we'll kind of touch base on how people's composting is going. And then we'll explain the next hands-on activity. But before we jump into those 4 things, I have 2 kind of like just general information things. One is that we have a new Class Dojo code. So I'm going to speak it. I'm also going to chat it into the chat. It is GJBLCA. GJBLCA. So that's our new Class Dojo code. We have more surveys for you guys to do. I know, remember how you guys filled out those surveys at the very beginning of the program? So we have more. They're going to look kind of familiar, and Mara is emailing them out to your parent or guardian or whoever signed you up for the class. They're going to be emailing those today, and if possible, if you guys could try to finish them and email back to Mara by the end of the week. We're not going to have you guys upload them to Class Dojo this time because that was really hard for a lot of families. A lot of friends had a really hard time uploading to Class Dojo. It was not easy. So this time, if it's easiest for you to upload to Class Dojo, you totally can. But if that was a big pain in the butt, you can email it to Miss Mara, and she will collect them that way. Okay. Oh, let's talk about the salsa making. How did it go? How was it? Did you guys have fun? Did you like that? 5 said it was okay. Just okay. Not a huge fan. It was good. Okay. Didn't have the ingredients maybe. Oh, your mom and dad liked it. 5. That's awesome. Okay, cool. Loved it. All right. It was okay. All right, so I'll ask a few more questions to kind of get you guys to talk a little bit more about it. So what foods did you add to your salsa? What did you choose from the different, sweet and salty and bitter, all those different categories? Cilantro, 46 said cilantro, 23 said mango, chili pepper. Ooh, nice. Awesome. What else? What else did we add? Cantaloupe, cilantro, chili powder, salt, lime juice, and apple, says 5. Oh my gosh, that sounds like a very interesting salsa. I like it. And you said your parents liked it, so that's awesome. Okay, oh, lots of people chatting in. Great. So 46 says chili powder, 20 said it went good, and the salsa tasted amazing. Oh, 20, what all did you include? Did you chat in yet? 32 says lemon juice. Let's see. 46 says salt and lime. 30 says cilantro, pineapple, lemon, and salt. Ooh, really good. Wow, you guys really had some fun combinations. I love hearing about this. Some really kind of unique creative salsas. All right, so did anyone just eat the salsa by itself? Did you eat it with something else? And if you did eat it with something else, did the combination taste good together? Oh, 5 says your parents ate it by themselves. 20 said with chips. Okay, cool, with chips and salsa. That's a classic. All right, so last couple questions. Would anyone try making the salsa again? And if so, would you try a different combination next time? 50 says me. Okay. You don't know? No. Okay, that's totally fine if you don't want to do it again. 30 says yes. What combination? Is there any other combination that you were thinking as you were making it that you might want to try next time? Like something different? Not really. That's okay. All right. Well, I'm glad that for the most part, this was a fun activity. We got some really creative combinations. All right, so we are going to move on. Totally new topic, okay? This is our new topic for the next couple of classes. What do you guys know about protein? Has anyone ever heard that word before? And if so, what do you know about it? Okay, A lot of yeses. So those of you who said yes, what do you know about it? What have you heard? Maybe you've heard an adult in your life talk about it. Maybe you've learned about it in school, that it's healthy. Okay. Premier Protein Shake, 30 grams of protein. Yes, okay. It's like nutrition or vitamins. Someone put in a glass of milk. It's healthy. Yeah, these are all really great. Oh, and I think it's 36, not 63, but 36 saying protein gives you muscles. Yeah, so protein is really important in muscle building, like in building big, strong muscles. Yes, awesome. Oh, 24, I see your hand up. Yeah, you want to unmute yourself and read this thing that starts with the word protein?
Protein is a nutrient that's naturally found in plants and animals. It's made of tiny building blocks called amino acids. When you eat protein, it breaks down in amino acids during digestion. Then your body sends these amino acids to a different part to keep them healthy and growing.
Awesome. Thank you so much, 24. Yeah. So, protein is this like big thing in your body, and it breaks down into these little things called amino acids that are kind of like the little building blocks. And they do different kind of jobs in different parts of your body. But the main thing they do is they build a lot of muscles, and they keep you healthy, and they keep you growing. Okay. And so can I have does anyone else want to be a volunteer and read this second paragraph? 46, I saw your hand shoot straight up. Go ahead.
One part of the body that needs proteins are your muscles. Children grow very quickly, and protein helps your muscles keep growing to help you move, walk, run, and exercise.
Awesome. Yeah, exactly. So who likes to run, walk, exercise, play soccer, go hiking? Who likes to do fun physical activities? You guys can like raise your hand or chat into the chat. Yeah, some of us. So without protein, our muscles and our body wouldn't be able to do a lot of those really fun activities that we enjoy when we go bike riding, when we go walking, when we go hiking, when we swim. But even just simpler things like when we cook in the kitchen, right? You're standing on your feet for 20 or 30 minutes, and that actually requires a lot of muscles to be big and strong as well. So protein that we get from different kinds of foods helps our bodies do anything that involves any kind of movements at all. So it's super important. And just like the second part said, children, you guys are younger and you're growing really fast. And so that protein is really important for your muscles to grow big and strong so that you can be healthy for the rest of your life. Yeah, definitely. All right, so what types of food are considered protein sources? What kind of foods could you eat if you knew you wanted to have a lot of protein? And I know 5 said her protein shakes, but anything else? Any other foods that you know of? So people said milk, veggies, certain kinds of veggies, maybe meat, cheese, meat, yeah. What else? Any other ideas? Beans, yeah, you guys know a bunch of them. What else? What else has protein in it? Eggs, nuts, yeah, fruits. Fruits, not so much. Fruits actually don't have a lot of protein in them, but everything else you guys have said has protein in it. Yeah, meat, chicken, very good. All right, so I'm going to show you guys a bunch of pictures, and we'll see if any of these were surprising to you. Okay. So what I've got on this page here, we've got the beans over here, which I know someone said. Cheese, which someone said. Does anyone know what this one down here in the bottom left corner is? Has anyone ever seen those before? They do look like pistachios. They're not, though. They're called lentils. Has anyone ever had lentils before? Yeah? Oh, I see some hands up. Lentils are they're similar to beans, sort of, or kind of like in between like a bean and a rice, maybe. They have a lot of protein, and they're common in a lot of foods. I know that they're common in a lot of soups and some different Indian recipes I've seen them in. They're really good. Okay, so this one up here is chicken, which people were saying. Milk, someone said. Does anyone know what this one here is next to the milk? It is. It's tofu. Great job, 50. Yeah, it's tofu. And tofu has so much protein in it, and it's in a lot of different recipes. I think there's tofu in a lot of Asian recipes, but even in other things, people who don't necessarily eat a lot of meat sometimes will substitute with tofu. Did anyone know that peanut butter has a lot of protein in it? From peanuts, exactly. And peanuts are a type of nut, which people did say that. Nuts, and nuts have a lot of proteins. What is this one up here with the blueberries? What is that right there that woman's holding in her hand? A parfait. And what is a parfait made with? Yeah, yogurt. Great. And then what's this last one right here? Eggs, yeah. Eggs are also a really great source of protein. And actually, I think I missed one. This right here in between the eggs and the tofu, but this is fish. I did pictures of sushi with fish. Fish is another really great source of protein. All right, so you guys got them all. How many people see at least one food on this page that they like to eat? But I see a bunch of hands up. Most of them, 50 says, yeah. Milk, yogurt, peanut butter, salmon. Yeah, awesome. Okay, so there's two main categories of protein. There's plant-based protein and there's animal-based protein. And what I want to know is, what do you guys think is the difference between, if you have any idea at all, what do you think might be the difference between plant-based and animal-based protein? 23 says, I don't know. That's totally fine. 50 says plant-based is not meat. Okay, yep, that's part of it. That's part of it. 46, you said that you are a vegetarian. Do you have any ideas about the difference between plant-based or animal-based protein? 5 says, for vegetarians and vegans, both grow, but plants grow from the ground. Oh, that's a really great point, 20. Both do grow. You have to grow both a plant or an animal-based protein, but a plant-based protein might grow from the ground. Good. So 32 says, animal-based could be like milk, eggs, chicken, and plant-based could be nuts. Yes, that is perfect. Yeah, so now to kind of tie in some of the similarities of the things you said. So things like milk, egg, chicken, those that are animal-based, right? They came from an animal at some point. So it might be meat where it's actually like the animal's body that we're eating, or it could be eggs or milk or cheese where it's something that, like, we milk a cow and we drink its milk, or the hen lays an egg and we eat the egg, and it didn't actually, the animal didn't have to die for us to eat that protein, but it came from an animal, right? But then plant-based protein is, it grew from a plant, there were no animals involved, but it still actually has a lot of protein in it. So 32 had said nuts, and I saw that 36 said tofu. Yes, exactly. Tofu is another example of a plant-based protein. Tofu comes from the plant called soybeans that grow, and then they pick the beans off, and then they kind of process them in a certain way to create tofu. Very good. What foods do you think are animal-based protein? And I know we said a few of them, but I want to see you guys either chat in or unmute and share a few more examples of animal-based protein. What can you think? Yogurt. Yes, exactly, because it's made from milk. Meat, eggs, milk, steak, meat. Yeah, lots of different kinds of meat. Very good. Cheese. Yep, because cheese is made from milk, which comes from a cow, or a goat maybe. We would milk the cow or the goat. Good. Chicken. Yep, exactly. Pork. Yeah, so anything that comes from pigs, so pork, like pork loins or bacon or something like that. Yep. Milk. Very good. You guys totally got it. All right. So and then what are some more examples of plant-based protein? Nuts. Yep, very good. Tofu and nuts. Yep. Lentils. Very good. Yep. Beans, yep, very good. There's the one I was thinking of, beans. Awesome. So another one too that people don't always think about actually is certain kinds of grains. So oats actually have quite a bit of protein in them. And then another one is certain kinds of, like, wheat has some protein in it, and certain kinds of like breads, if they have like some oat flour plus some wheat flour, might be higher in protein. Corn has some, but it doesn't have a ton of protein. Yeah, and certain kinds of bread will have protein depending on what kind of grain they were made from. Does anyone here eat both animal and plant-based protein sources? I see hands or chat into the chat. I see a bunch of hands. Does anyone here eat only plant-based protein sources? I see a couple of hands. Does anyone have an idea about if one is healthier than the other? Do we have any opinions? I see a bunch of people saying no. 30 says, I eat milk and eggs, but not actual parts of the animal, like the meat. Okay, cool. So people don't really think that one is healthier than the other. We kind of think they're equally. Another way to phrase that is, are they equally healthy? Would you say they're equally healthy? 30 says equally. 5 says maybe. You don't know. That's totally fine. I'm just trying to get you guys thinking. So the reason why I ask is because a lot of people in many cultures have very strong opinions about if animal or plant-based protein sources, if one is better than the other. Back to one of our previous lessons, if it's balanced, you know, they both can be really healthy for you. But I don't know if you want to speak to this for a little bit more.
Yeah, so just like we talked about in the last lesson, no food on its own is bad. It's just if you eat like too much of it. And there are different foods where you should eat more or less. So if you ate an entire birthday cake, that's not so healthy. But just like there are plant and animal proteins, there's room in your diet for both. Because, you know, some animal proteins have iron and vitamin B12, but they also have some of those saturated, unhealthier fats. So it's all kind of a balancing act. Everything has pluses and everything has minuses. And it's all about how you balance those.
Awesome. That's a super great answer. So I think that just like Ms. Harrison said, one is not necessarily on its own healthier than the other, right? It's all about the balancing act. If you ate a steak for breakfast, lunch, and dinner every single day of the week, your heart is going to be really not happy and healthy because that's just too much of some of those saturated fats and some of those other things. But similarly, if you never, ever, ever eat anything with iron in it, if you never figure out a way to get any kind of protein source with iron in it, the little cells in your body that make your blood strong are going to die because they have to have iron, right? So there's a total balancing act. But is anyone here a vegetarian or a vegan, or do you know someone who is? So 30 says they are a vegetarian. 20 is a vegetarian. 32 is a vegetarian. Okay. 55 says no, that's totally fine. I'm just curious. Not a vegan, not a vegetarian. 46 is a vegetarian. Okay. So what does it mean to be a vegetarian? Does anyone know what it means? And you can chat in or you can unmute yourself and share.
Vegetarian means like you don't eat an animal, but you eat food that comes from the animal. Like you eat eggs and milk, but you don't eat the animal, and you eat plant-based protein.
Amazing. I could not have said it better myself. That is a perfect definition. So yeah, and people are chatting in right now. You don't eat meat. Exactly. So if you're a vegetarian, you don't eat meat. You don't eat something that actually, like, you don't eat the animal itself, but you might eat eggs or milk or cheese, or something that came from the animal, but not the actual animal itself. And then, of course, you eat a lot of plant-based proteins, like tofu and nuts and peanut butter and certain kinds of grains and things like that. Awesome. So now, kind of a little bit different. What does it mean to be vegan? Has anyone heard that word before? Oh, 30. I see your hand again. Do you want to share about that one?
Being vegan means you only eat plant-based proteins. You don't even eat anything that comes from an animal. You just eat plant-based proteins.
Yes, exactly. So the reason that I think people being vegan, like vegans are a little less common, is that you really have to be super thoughtful about making sure that you're getting all the right protein, right minerals, vitamins, because you've kind of excluded a whole group of foods. And so it's totally doable. You can be a very healthy vegan and get all of the nutrients that you need. You just have to plan ahead and really think it through and be very careful about what you cook and such. All right, so we're going to shift gears a little bit, but it's still going to kind of relate to some of the stuff we're talking about. So we're going to do a little composting review. What can we compost. Eggshells, yep, awesome. What else? What are things we can't? Bananas, yep, or like a banana peel, very good. Apples, exactly. Vegetable scraps, yep, super good. Newspaper, yeah, that one's a super great one. Corn cobs, coffee grinds, apple cores, banana peels, dry leaves, fruit skins, awesome. Okay, you guys got it. So whenever plant-based foods, yeah, exactly. So we want the browns and the greens. We like to have them balanced. The browns are just like you guys said, things like dried leaves, corn stalks, newspaper, cardboard twigs, straw, perfect. And then the greens are those fruit and vegetable scraps, plant trimmings, eggshells, coffee grounds, maybe grass. So now, what are some of the things that we cannot compost? What are some of the things that would hurt our compost if we put it in? Meat, yeah, that's one. Dog bones, yeah, we don't want dog bones in there. Meat, bones, anything that would attract animals, dairy, fish, yeah, you guys got it, exactly. So the egg shells are good, but the inside part of the egg is no good. Plant waste or litter, diseased plants, anything that's been treated with chemicals, meat scraps, bones, fish, dairy products. Okay, so now, oh, and trash. Awesome. Yeah, trash is another bad one that we don't want to put in the compost. So now that we've talked about what we can and can't compost, what do you guys think? Are we able to compost protein sources? What do you think? 5 says depends. Okay, so explain. What do you mean when you say depends? Not meat, not milk. 20 says plant-based protein sources. Ding, ding, ding. You guys are exactly right. With the exception of eggshells. That's the one exception. Eggshells is an animal-based protein, because it's part of the egg, right? That we can compost. We can compost the eggshell, not the inside part. But everything else, if it is a plant-based protein source, you can compost it. If it's an animal-based protein source, with the exception of eggshells, you can't compost it. And why do you guys think that is? Why do you think we can only compost plant-based protein sources? Yeah, so animal ones will attract animals and smell. Yep, that is one part of it. So actually I wasn't thinking completely. There are 2 parts of it. At 46 says it'll be good for the plant. So the main thing that I think about is the reason that we can compost plant-based protein sources is that those once came from plants, so they can go back into the soil or back into the compost to turn into new soil to feed new plants. It's kind of part of that cycle, right? It kind of started as a plant, it'll get broken down back into soil to create new plants. Whereas anything that's an animal-based protein source is kind of separate from that cycle, right? It wasn't ever a plant. So I'm going to just explain our hands-on activity for between now and Thursday, and then we'll be done. Okay? So I think you guys are really going to like this one because I've seen that you guys really like games, and our hands-on activity for this week is a game, an online game. Okay. So there's this online game, and I'm going to give you the link later today, and it's called the Cornucopia Farming Game. And essentially, you guys on this online site get to pretend to be farmers, and you get to make decisions about what you want to grow, why you want to grow it, how many seasons you want to grow it, and the whole point is to get a certain number of points. But if you're not really thoughtful about how you do it, then your farm will die or you will run out of business, so to speak. It's kind of like a pretend version of being a farmer. So there's a whole bunch of different levels to try out, and I want you guys to start with the garden setting. And if you pass the garden setting, then it will let you go on to the next setting. And there's 3 levels. I want to see if you guys can play all 3, okay? Then after you play this, based off of kind of what you learn, I want you guys to draw and color in and make a beautiful picture of your ideal farm. And I want you guys to think about what would you grow? What would you raise? And I want you guys to label any plant that you would grow and any animals that you would raise. And then tell me why. And you can either have it be part of the label, or you can just, when we talk about this on Thursday, you can explain why, right? So let's say you really want to grow strawberries because you love making strawberry fruit salads, right? Or you would want to have a ton of chickens so that you can have eggs, right? I want you guys to tell me, what would you ideally have on your perfect imaginary farm? You guys are the farmers of the world and you're going to start your own farm. What would you grow or raise and why? Okay. And then you're going to, and so I'm just giving you a bunch of pretty pictures over here, some examples, right? So you could grow a bunch of different kinds of fruits and vegetables. You could have goats and you could have ducks and you could have cows. You could have bees for honey. You could have horses to do horseback riding lessons. Whatever you want. It's your farm. It's your beautiful farm. And then at the end, of course, you're just going to upload a picture or a video of your farm drawing to Class Dojo, okay? And the instructions for all of this will be posted on Class Dojo. You're just going to follow the link. You're going to play the 3 levels of the game to kind of get you in the mindset of like how to be a good farmer. And then you're going to get artistic and draw your perfect ideal farm. All right, so really quick before we leave, guys, we're going to do our exit ticket, all right? So everyone get out a piece of paper and something to write with, please. You guys can go take a second if you need to, but get a piece of paper and something to write with. We're going to get started. So similar to when we did our composting table, make a table, but this time it's just going to have 4 rows and 2 columns. So it'll look just like this one on the left, and there should be a column that says animal, and on the other one it should say plant. All right, I think it looks like everyone's about done, so we're gonna move on, okay? So on the next slide, I'm gonna show you 6 foods, and you're gonna sort each one into whether they are plant or animal protein sources into your little chart. So if you see a picture of something that's an animal protein source, you'll write its name in the animal side, and if it's a plant one, you'll put it in the plant side, okay? So here we go. First one, these are potatoes, in case you're not sure. Potatoes. So the first one is potatoes. So is that a plant or an animal-based protein source? Next. Eggs. This is eggs. Are eggs a plant or an animal-based protein source? All right, next one. This is a bunch of different kinds of nuts. Are nuts plant or animal protein sources? Okay, next we've got milk with some cookies next to it, but mainly it's milk. Is milk a plant or an animal-based protein source? Next we've got meats. I think these are some sausages and some beef patties. Peanut butter, plant or animal? All right, so we're gonna go through the answers real quick, and then I just want to see who gets like most of them right. So potato, chat into the chat. Is potato plant or animal? What is it? Plant. Very good. Meat or like, sausages and beef. Is that plant or animal? Animal. Awesome. Okay, eggs. Plant or animal? Animal. Very good. Nuts. Plant or animal? Plant. Awesome. Peanut butter? Plant. Yep. Peanut butter is just made from peanuts. And last but not least, milk. Animal. Rock on. So did anyone get 100% of them? You can do a thumbs up or chat in the chat. Awesome. Yeah, I think a lot of you guys got this. I think you guys really had a good grasp of this. All right, friends. So that is it for today. That is the end of our class. Anyone have any questions? We will post all the instructions for that game just in a couple of hours after kind of everything gets loaded up. But you guys feel good about today? All right, friends, that is it.